Yo, what's good, everybody? This is your boy Dar'rell Banks, one half of Collab Gem, and today I'm gonna share with you my process of leveling out my beats. This is not going to be an in-depth mixing tutorial or anything, but I'm just show you guys how I go about getting my levels situated right. And when it comes to me, I kind of have a particular thing that's unconventional, probably to most producers, because you're not supposed to use meters. You're supposed to use your ears. I definitely use my ears, but I have a little metering trick that I use to kind of get my levels balanced the way that I want them to be and hit the way that works for me. So hopefully you guys can get something out of this, but basically I'm just cut straight to it. So what I do is I go by like the 6 dB rule, and a lot of DAWs, FL Studio kind of goes in increments of 3, so 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. So, but I do like a 6 dB rule. So let's say the loudest element in my mix is usually a kick and snare. So like I'll start there, and that's where I set my kick, my snare. Depends on how loud, or how hot I want to run my levels. Typically I kind of mix a little bit lower, around like -12 is a starting point. But anyway, just for example, so kick and snare would be the main point around 6. The next element, maybe 808, would be 6 dB below, so that'd be around 12. Depends on the 808 and how hard I want it to hit. Below that could be like percussion and hi-hats and just etc, etc. And I use that as my gauge to see where I want to set my levels at. And of course I'm still using my ears. Sometimes, I could have my kick at 6, for example, and the snare might be at -12 because it's like super saturated. So I don't just use these hardcore numbers as one, like everything's got to be at this certain level. I still use my ears, but this is the way that I choose to level my beats out. It works for me. Hopefully it can work for you. So I got a beat that I just threw together real quick, using a whole bunch of loops from my new kit that's going to be coming out soon, Target Practice 2. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, I'm gonna just go ahead and start leveling this beat out. I'm gonna start with the kicks, or the kick, and show you guys exactly how I kind of go about doing this. It's super simple, but so for example, I'm gonna run it a little bit hot. So I'm gonna start with my kick at around like -6. And my main snare is going to be hitting around the same too, depending on the snare again. So I'm gonna bring in the 808. And then once I had like those are usually my main things that I want to get balanced together right, I'll bring in the melody next. And sometimes the melodies can hit around like where the 808 is hitting, or sometimes I can have it a little bit lower. Just depends. Again, you got to use your ears. Every beat is different. Some samples are more saturated, some are more quiet, some might need to be compressed, and then you level after that. So, but usually it's around the bass level for me, my liking. Sometimes it'll be a little bit lower to let the 808 shine through. So next I'm gonna bring in the hi-hats. Bring in the crash. So basically that's my process, man. It's super simple. Like everything else outside of, for me, like the kick, the snare, the bass, um, and melodies, I have a general level that I personally like them at that works for me for the most time. But when it comes to like the extra things, that's why I didn't really stop for every little thing, like the shaker and the extra clap and percussion and sound effects. They can be placed wherever you feel good. But that is my general rule of thumb when it comes to mixing. Is to set my levels 6 dB apart and go and adjust from there. And that usually gives me the results that that work for me, that I like. So hopefully you guys can get some out of this today. I appreciate you for tuning in, and I love you guys. Peace.